Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm talking about Mercury conjunct Uranus in Synastry. So this aspect works really well. I mean, probably out of all of the Uranus conjunctions in Synastry, I think that Mercury likes being conjunct to Uranus in Synastry. So the reason for that is because of Mercury's exaltation in Aquarius and Aquarius being ruled by Uranus. It's a good match here. Now, it's not always going to be easy, but it definitely can be a really fun awakening contact to have in Synastry. And there can be a lot of mutual fascination with each other. And yeah, there can be a lot of like genius realizations that come through. Specifically, the Uranus person can really help the Mercury person see things from a higher perspective and, maybe see the true, like, spiritual truth behind things in their life that they're living through, kind of their day to day experiences. The Uranus person can really broaden the horizons of the Mercury person, and they can be kind of like an erratic genius towards the Mercury person. Like the Mercury person can really look up to the Uranus person and think, wow, they know things, or they are living their truth, they're living in their authenticity, and it's inspiring to them. So, this is a really inspiring, uplifting contact. It is also quite energizing. Like when you have this conjunction in Synastry and you're just sitting with someone, there can be like a buzzing. Like you're in a Synastry, especially by conjunction or sometimes even the hard aspects. It's like a lightning bolt, it's like an electric shock. It's like buzzing electricity. So the Mercury person's mind can be especially activated by the Uranus person. And the Uranus person feels like the Mercury person is like a special friend that listens to them and also like appreciates their uniqueness without trying to inhibit it. So this is one of the contexts that you'll see in like a freedom oriented relationship where they give each other a lot of freedom, specifically mental freedom. This is the kind of aspect that you could see where they let each other have different beliefs. It's kind of the opposite of what I just talked about with Mercury Pluto conjunct in Synastry. It's like with this contact, they're almost attracted to each other for the differences as well as, what they believe similarly. And there isn't that feeling of pressure of, wanting to control. It's like the Uranus person, Uranus in Synastry, is usually able to be pretty detached. So they can offer the Mercury person wisdom, but they're not really attached to whether they pick it up or not. It's like, are you picking up what I'm putting down? But I don't really care if you are or not because I'm going to share it anyways. And I know that you're a good ear and you're someone who I can be open with. That's a really good way to describe this contact is mental openness. And usually there is some sort of unconventional interest, like astrology or some type of innovation or inventiveness. Like they could even inspire each other to invent something. That's going to be the ultimate energy of Uranus Mercury, is like they're going to invent some new school of thought, or they're going to even create like some kind of astrology school or something like that. That would be very characteristic of a Mercury Uranus conjunction. Now, like I said, usually there's an openness here with each other with ideas. Now, if the Uranus person or the Mercury person is a more stubborn sign, like if these are in fixed signs, not necessarily Aquarius though, but some cases Aquarius, but you could see that they do irritate each other a little bit because it's just such a high energy contact. There's so much mental energy that at times, it might be like too much. You might start to get a little bit annoyed at each other. The Uranus person could be classified by the Mercury person as someone who's a bit too erratic, or maybe they're just kind of a rebel, or they have no regard for, societal beliefs that are maybe held by Mercury. Or you could even see that like the Mercury person's upbringing is like directly challenged by the Uranus person. So if the Mercury person is super attached and fixed and rigid and like their beliefs, then they could be irritated by the Uranus person. But usually that's not going to happen. Usually it's like they're both ready for the new awarenesses that are going to come from this contact. And it just creates a lot of buzz and excitement and openness. And, the highest form, like I said, would be creating something, inventing something, having some sort of study where they both get to open their minds and awaken. Uranus at the highest level is the awakener, like it's a shocking electric awakening, but it's an awakening. So there's a lot of spiritual wisdom that can come through Uranus contacts in synastry. And this one is probably the highest potential because Mercury wants to learn. Mercury is open and inquisitive. And, the way that I see Mercury is like, you're just like a kid on Christmas morning and you're like, I just want to open all the presents, and like it's just pure like innocence and like openness to whatever life is going to throw at you. So usually Mercury responds well to Uranus, and Uranus likes the way that it feels to have this sort of open student there for them, and it's just a really nice contact. You can see this in relationships where they've been together a long time. It never gets boring. They always have stuff to talk about. They're always learning. They're always excited about each other and life. And it really brings like a childlike enthusiasm and fun and zest for life, along with like genius realizations together. So I like to see this one in friendships. It's, it's probably even better in friendships or business relationships. It's business relationships, it could be a little bit too erratic, but usually, yeah, this conjunction, like I said, it works out better because of Mercury's ability and desire to handle that Uranus energy in most cases. And yeah, they just relate to each other like a bunch of like kids or good buddies, or they can respect each other's minds a lot with this aspect. So yeah, I'd love to know your experience of this aspect. If you've had it in your synastry, what was it like? Was it like this? Let me know in the comments, you guys, and thank you for your requests. Keep them coming. We'll talk soon. Bye.